What's up, guys? How are you? How's everyone doing? Welcome back. It's me, Hebot, your boy, your action figure enthusiast and video game aficionado. I hope everybody is blessed and doing well at the time that you see this video. Me, myself, still, trying to get better, dealing with stuff, doing a bunch of appointments still. And as you see, I still have my black eyes because really not sleeping well. But, one day at a time. So today I want to do a video about something I had in mind and my thoughts and some things that I've been seeing as far as a topic in gaming that I don't know why it's even a thing, but it is, obviously, for whatever reason. And I guess it's because everything now in the era that we live in, has to become a socialist thing or an equality thing or a thing between the left or the right politics or between Republicans or Democratic, whatever, right? In movies, games, and everything, it seems like. And anytime you say something, people get offended or stuff, or they'll, if they see the truth, they get offended. But I hope that this video doesn't, offend anyone, because I'm trying to speak with common sense and from the heart. And I'm trying to talk about that from what I see, in my opinion, right? What I'm seeing. Women that complain, right, about games not having equality with characters like women protagonists, and women that try to push it and shove it in your face all the time now in the day and age that we live, like saying, oh, if women characters are important, deal with it. If you don't like it, too bad. Whether it's on streaming services or whatever, wherever, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, doesn't matter. Those women, to be honest, I honestly can tell you, are not real gamers. I'm back. Sorry, I think cut off. Well, what I was saying is that are not real gamers. Women that do that, whether it's on a streaming service or whether it's on social media like Twitter or Instagram. And the reason why I say that is because anybody that's a real gamer, and this applies to women or even men, doesn't matter, kids, whatever, that's been gaming for a long time, that really knows the roots, respects the culture, right? You'll see and you'll know right off the bat that women have been represented in gaming since the very beginning. We can start as far back as, something like Pac-Man. Pac-Man was probably the biggest hit, and the first biggest hit, maybe even the one who transcended gaming to where it is now. When it came in the arcades, and then, when it was made available in home consoles with Atari, right? Being there first. And the first thing they did was, as we all know, was it did Miss Pac-Man, the woman version of Pac-Man, his wife, right? And representation of women, or of a woman, in a video game form. Then we had other games that came along, right? Like in the NES era, like Metroid, where that the main character was Samus, which was also a woman, right? Then we had other games that represented in gaming, like Alicia Dragoon, or characters like Blade from Streets of Rage, right? And Blaze from Golden Axe, which were arcade games, which translated into home console ports as well. And to be honest, those women characters were badass. They were the best characters in those games. They did the best moves, had the best magics, They had the fastest speed. They were the best, well balanced characters, and men just played them and enjoyed them because they were badass characters. Then we had games, obviously, like the fighters, you know, like in games like, you know, Street Fighter with Cammy, right? With characters like Chun-Li, right? And other ones that came after, or even Mortal Kombat with Katana, with Melina, with characters, you know, like Sheva and Sonya Blade, right? Then we, you know, other characters like in games like Cotton, the Little Witch, or Death Smiles with the other witches. Women characters. Then obviously the obvious one, like always, the one that was probably the biggest successful main character game of all time, or the first one, which was something like Tomb Raider, right, with Lara Croft, right? Tomb Raider and Lara Croft, which everyone loved, everyone enjoyed, and it was all because of why? Because she was just a badass character in a really well executed game for that time in that era, and she just was cool. She was, the story, everything about her was really, you know, what a representation of what a video game is supposed to be. No one ever talked about, oh, I wish she was a boy. No one said that, ever. You know, and through the years, you know, we've had so many other wonderful characters in games like Remember Me, in games like Mirror's Edge, in games like, you know, Microsoft has a plethora of games now, you know, and even then, like with Perfect Dark, during the 360, I mean the 64 era, with Joanna Dark, right? And then we had Jules from like Recore, Bayonetta and her sister, probably one of the baddest characters in gaming history, period, hands down. One of the best action games probably of all time. You know, in Gears of War with Kate, right? And other great, you know, great unexpected characters, right? That we grown to love and appreciate for what they brought to the table. You know, in what you call it, in games like, you know, what you call it, like the upcoming The Gunk, right? But then the funny thing is, that makes me laugh, is when these girls say that, and the ones that talk about that, when they say that, the first thing they'll bring up, they'll try to say something like, oh, these are the girls, right? And they'll show girls only from PlayStation games, like, you know, like Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, or like, what's her name? Oh gosh, Jesus Christ, I forgot her name. Aloy from, like, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn, or Ellie from The Last of Us. Which those games were not just being video games. They were trying to push narratives about making men the problem, or men bad or evil, and women are superior and more intelligent, that we're the problem, we're the cesspool, right? But yet when you look at the PlayStation library, you know, no one ever brings up the main character, Hirako, I forget her name, from Heavenly Sword Fight Ninja Theory, which to this day is still PlayStation 3 exclusive. You understand? You know, games like Virtual Fighter that had characters like Pi, right? The wrestler, Wolf's daughter, Sarah. Things like that, you know, that you know for a fact, hey, papi, tú una llamada. That you know for a fact, you know, paved the way for women representation in gaming, and paved it in a very solid way, which, you know, I think just made everything broader, much better and bigger. You know, Nightshade on the PS2, which was the Shinobi version or story of the ninja-esque, you know, female character from Night Chain. Which, excuse me so much, which, was an amazing game, also very underrated, didn't sell well, and now, we have other games like I said in Remember Me, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that men have been represented much more in video games than women. I'm not saying that either, because to be honest, even kids have been represented in games quite often. If you go back and look at a lot of games where main characters were actually little kids as well, in a lot of ways. I guess boys or little kids and men have been represented obviously a lot more. But to say that women representation hasn't been there and that men have a problem with playing characters that are women is very foolish, very ignorant, and I don't think it's something that is validated. I really think it's more of a propagandal thing to make it a thing about women getting treated indifferently than men in a video game space, which is sad because it shouldn't be about that. I've never heard in all my years of playing games, I've never heard any guy speak about a woman in a video game say, that they hate it because there's a woman in it. I've never seen that. Now Returnal, that game Returnal for the PS5 is a woman protagonist as well. Just like there's not a lot of representation with black characters or even Hispanic characters. I mean, we had, Crackdown 3, that was a main character was black. Prototype 2, Halo 5, you know what I'm saying? And just representation of different orient, right? Because even with Japanese people or Asian, we haven't had a lot unless it's a Japanese title, and they do a lot of their stuff to make it look like androgynous, a combination of white men and with a womanly features and look in a lot of cases. But they've done certain things, like Stranglehold, that was done by John Woo. The main character was Asian, and obviously Just Cause and Total Overdose, which the character was Mexican American or Mexican Latino, however it's the proper term way of saying it. So again, I just had that thought in my head because if you go back, like I said, since the very beginning, there's always been representation for women, and the women characters have been in 95% of the cases amazing, awesome characters, like really well done and really well executed, and they're just fantastic characters that we all grew up with and loved and continue to love. Now we got games like Control with the main character as well. She's awesome. The game's maybe not as good as, let's say, as Quantum Break, but it's an awesome game, in its own right. The character's great. You don't think about the fact that she's a woman. You just think about how she is in the game and that she's badass. Cameo on the 360 from Rare. Main character, Jewel. And from Recore, like I said, and Cameo, the girl, that looks like the fairy. Beautiful character. A character that I wish was implemented in games like Killer Instincts, because she would be great. All the girls from Killer Instincts as well, the female representation there, and they're all pretty badass. So I don't know, guys. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel and think about it, about the topic. It's just something I had in my head, and I was thinking about it. And I just think it's an unfair and unjustified topic in the gaming space. I just think that it's an agenda more than anything. It's false. Obviously, it's not true. And I'm not saying that there's not a handful of guys that probably be like, oh, I don't like the girl character, and that doesn't exist either. I'm pretty sure there is a very small amount of guys that would probably think, childish in that way, or because they're just insecure or whatever. I don't know what it is. Whatever the case may be, I just know it's not appropriate, and it's not the thought process of an adult or of a mature person. So I don't know. Like I said, it is a possibility that there's people out there, guys out there like that. But again, it's a smaller amount of people, like a small set of people. I don't think it's like as big as people may think. So guys, let me know what you think, and down in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up if you like my video. If you give me a thumbs down if you didn't like it, let me know what you think. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. If you subscribe, I'm really humbled, and thank you for subscribing, because I know you didn't have to, but since you did, I consider you now a part of my family. And as always, share this video with someone you think might like it. And if you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Instagram under C_respect. On Twitter, I'm under Hebot Powerful Gamer. And then, as always, you can find me on my YouTube channel here, on Xbox, on Switch, on PlayStation Network. I'm under Outfell from Sky, and on the other two platforms, there's Hebot 8, and on Xbox Live as well. So, if you guys want to help me out in any way, shape, or form to help me, with content and better my channel, it would mean the world to me. I'll be very grateful. You know how you can do it. It's all down in the description below. And also, as well, if you want to donate anything that you would like me to maybe do a review on or talk about, I'll be more than glad to. It'll be an honor, a privilege. Just send me a DM and we'll work out the particulars. You guys know my platform is small. I don't have a lot of subscribers, so I have to make sure that I do everything out of pocket and as precise and careful as I can to budget everything in my life with my family, myself, things like that. So guys, thanks you for stopping by. Love you very much. Stay safe, keep it gaming, and have fun. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Peace.